Anita Finley, and I have the best interview for you today. The day Biden is being inaugurated, and I have Darwin Porter, our favorite celebrity author. He's our only celebrity author. He's only one of a kind anyway, and he's calling in from Staten Island, and we're going to have a wonderful talk. Good morning, Darwin.
I hope so. And I'm happy that you can talk to me at a moment that we're living through in history. If I got the airline schedule right, Mr. Donald Trump, who is still president as we talk, will land in West Palm Beach, which I think is not too far from you.
And no.
To begin,
everyone's been president, we have to refer to them as president, don't we? So it's always President Trump, isn't it?
Yes, and he'll be president till noon, and then.
I mean, no, wait, but you have to, when someone like you as President Obama, you have to call him.
All right, this is really a historic moment. By 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Donald Trump will land in West Palm Beach on Air Force One with his First Lady and entourage to take up residence at Mar-a-Lago. But I've written a column about Mar-a-Lago for the Boomer Times a long time ago. I used to go out in her later days with the owner of it, Dina Merrill, an actress, and she sold it to Trump for $7 million. But according to what we've read, he is not allowed to keep that as his permanent residence. When Palm Beach negotiated to make it a club, it was with the stipulation that it would not become his permanent residence. So Melania has been secretly house shopping in Florida and looking at properties in either Jupiter or Palm Beach, which may become the new Trump household. But anyway, he's got his send-off this morning. Now, the press is making much of the fact that he's not attending the inauguration, but historians have pointed out that in 1869, Andrew Jackson, who has also been impeached, hated General Grant so much that he did not attend his inauguration. And John Adams did not attend the inauguration of Thomas Jefferson. So this is, Trump is not breaking ground. And now Trump is called to bring the nation, a divided nation, together. Of course, we know that's impossible. A young man, computer genius in Texas, revealed that thousands of Americans believe the world is flat. So how are you going to negotiate with people who believe the world is flat? It's not flat. I've seen pictures of it from outer space. But in the dark ages, that was a popular theory. And so he's got a great job for him. And of course, we wish him well, and who knows what is going to happen. But the one sort of joyous note of Trump's goodbye is the world got to see the new boyfriend of Tiffany Trump, who was the child he had with Marla Maples. I don't know if you got to see it on your TV this morning, but he is a young man born in 1997, and he's been living with Tiffany for 2.5 years, and he's of French Lebanese descent, and he's a very good-looking Boulos. Michael Boulos is his name, and he owns great parts of Nigeria, and billions are pouring in. He's a very, very wealthy young man. I noticed, though, that when he started to move to embrace Trump, Trump just sort of stuck his hand up like, keep your distance, boy. I mean, so we don't know, but I think of all the children Barron accepted that Tiffany has been in the background. And a lot of people call her the dumb blonde, but she just graduated from Georgetown Law School. So she may not be that dumb. And she, unlike the others, is non-political. She doesn't really take part in the politics. But so anyway, I wish her well if she goes on and marries this young man. But I want to preface this with something. I went to bed early and I woke up at 1 o'clock and the TV was on. And believe it or not, Ivana, it was a Bette Midler movie and Diane Keaton was there, and Ivana Trump, the first Mrs. Donald Trump, appeared in this Bette Midler movie. And Diane Keaton is planning to get a divorce from her husband because of adultery. And Ivana says, darling, don't get mad, get everything. And the first Mrs. Trump now has massive real estate, 3 yachts, and all the Italian stallions she could desire in her heart. So she's doing very well, except she's a little mad because she said, I really should have the title of First Lady because I was the first wife. But it doesn't work that way, as Jane Wyman found out when she divorced Ronald Reagan. So Ivana.
So Darwin, is there another book? Darwin, are you going to write another book about Trump now with all this stuff?
No, some other day I will tell you all that's going on here, including right now my publisher, Danforth Prince, your beloved friend, is just signing a contract for a Zsa Zsa Gabor series. And a lot of things are going on.
Got that whip on you.
But I want to, when I came down, I turned on the news and Steve Bannon was just, the news was breaking at 2:30 this morning that Steve Bannon had been part. Now on a previous show, I told you that one day I got a call from Steve Bannon. I didn't know who he was. And he wanted to have a dinner with Danforth Prince. And we finally figured it out. We were coming out with a book on Hillary Clinton. And I think he wanted to see if there were any dirt on Hillary that he could pick Danforth's brain. And that's the first that we knew that that Donald Trump was going to, at least considering running for president. So we got in on that very early because of Steve Bannon, who's now been pardoned along with 175 other people. I want to tell you though about something else here. Oh my God, there's so much here I have to tell you. This is very strange. Do you know that there is a possible impeachment going on in the House? Now you say, Darwin, where have you been? They've already impeached Trump. No, I'm talking about a possible impeachment of Joe Biden.
I know, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Tried that, yeah.
You're the first person I've talked to that saw that. Now, you know it will go nowhere.
Yeah, I did see that.
But this will be
of course.
A history-making event that 2 impeachment talks may be going on. I mean, do you know why many of the world thinks we're crazy? I wonder why. But now everyone is talking, they hope Joe Biden brings America together. Well, several historians have gone on and said, America was never together. I said, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson actually didn't think the republic would exist. They thought it would splinter into a sort of like Western Europe. You know, Western Europe has that little country of Luxembourg, that might have been Rhode Island or something. And I visited little countries of Europe and written about them like Andorra, San Marino, the Principality of Monaco. And it could well have been that It could have been a nation. Maybe New England would have been a nation. In fact, the Russians, they think that's eventually what will happen to us. And right now, there's a movement growing, I guess, for Texas to secede from the Union. And I used to write about politics when I was 20 for the Miami Herald, and I'd want to be covering some more of these stories, like what is this movement of Texas seceded? And now thousands of people are on the web predicting a civil war. Well, I'd like to write a story about that, but I don't know if you've heard this. This is something I think is fairly new to me. Every time a president is taken office, there is immediate speculation about who's going to run in 4 years. And now some people, and with some degree of accuracy, are predicting, get this, 2 Indian women may run against each other for president. Now, they don't mean Indian American. We now call that Native American. I don't mean John Wayne and the Indians, but people of ancestry in India. And that would be our vice president, Ms. Harris, and Nikki Haley in South Carolina. She was the governor of South Carolina and later the UN ambassador. And there is actually talk of these 2 women. It may face off, but that's assuming that Biden will not seek a second term. I mean, it is in the realm of possibility. And Nikki has made a big name for herself. Haley is her name, Nikki Haley. I'm sure you remember her. And she disappeared for a while.
I haven't heard much about her lately, though.
Yeah, but she's apparently been in hiding, not in hiding, but plotting an early run for the presidency. So I think that I would be working on that story. These are stories I might have worked on for the Miami Herald if I were still writing about politics. And listen, you people are going, oh my, there's something else here that I had to,
a lot of juicy stuff here.
Yeah.
Can she see you?
Can you see me? Are we off the air? Maybe.
Yeah, we see you.
Something went blank on my screen. It's going to be a very unusual time. We're living in a moment of history. Everybody is writing a book about their experiences in the Trump era. As you know, I came out with one September 2016 called The Making of the King. And the last words in the book was September 26th. And he said, my next address is going to be 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And my book was right and he was right. Although when I wrote that, I didn't really believe it. I just put it in because he said it. So we've had a hell of a ride. We're going to have, I think, even more of a hell of a ride in the coming months. The challenges are going to be so great that I don't know how one man or one woman can really take them on, but it's a time of great crisis, and we can only hope and pray that we're going to get through it. And we'll see how these vaccines go. The man we were just talking about, Danforth Prince, was one of the volunteers called upon to take the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I don't know if you've been hearing about that.
Yeah, I have. I just got mine. I've got the other one though. I got the
You did?
I did get it.
Oh, that means
I had the first one. I'm set on February for the second.
That means you're going to live forever.
That's how she did it.
Yes.
Anyway.
And I want to get yours so we can live together.
That's right. Well, anyway, but there is great hope for this Johnson & Johnson. But before we ring off, there's something I had to bring up that I find so unbelievable. I go down and I turn on the news, and I feel at first it's a satire from Saturday Night Live. And I went down one morning and turned on the news, and it said that a group of people, maybe a very large group, think that Bob Hope is financing this left-wing rebellion. Now, Bob Hope is actually, I'm a film historian, and Bob Hope is actually dead. I will admit that the Senate announced his death before he was actually dead. They wanted to honor him for the work he had done. And then he sent a telegram to the head of the Senate, and he said, my death has been exaggerated. And he's still alive, but he died soon after. And if he were financing a conspiracy, it wouldn't be for the Democrats. He was an ardent Republican, you know, played golf with Eisenhower and everything. But yet, these conspiracy theories apparently are out there. I've been collecting some of them, and each one seems more preposterous than but people believe them ardently. And I know some people here on Staten Island that really believe, now I don't challenge them and say, oh, you idiot, Bob Hope is dead. I don't do that. I just listen in astonishment to what they're going to say. There's even a documentary coming out that Adolf Hitler is still alive in Argentina, but I don't think so. I don't really think so. But someone's making a documentary.
Darwin, so let me ask you something.
Is this goodbye now? Are we out there?
Darwin,
Oh, I'm sorry.
My question. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Have there been conspiracies like this throughout history?
Yes. Yes, they always have. I don't recall most of the 20th century in America to have too much talk about the world being flat and Bob Hope is behind. And of course, the worst thing, this conspiracy of all these pedophiles who are drinking the blood of young American children. First, if that were true, why aren't these children being reported missing by the thousands, you know?
Right.
And
right.
We just have to press on and hope for the best. And let's hope it will be a great year for America and beyond.
But you know, one thing, I think that that Biden very good people, so he's going to have to do this all himself.
Yes, it's going to be
My
a great.
My computer is unstable, Dan said.
So is ours, so is his.
Yeah, we're having a bit of trouble. I'll just, if you can still hear me, I'll just tell you one more story
I can hear you.
Before I fade.
Okay.
And I heard they were going back on Steve Bannon, and thank God he did not follow Trump did not follow all of his advice. One was to cut off the heads of Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and staple the rotting heads on each side of the White House. And yes, I heard him on tape this morning. Now, we assumed that he had his tongue in his cheek, but that's the type that he was given. And then I heard another, Steve Miller, you know, has been the loyal assistant of Donald Trump, and he's departing this morning. He was called Baby Goebbels, and that one commentator said, Steve is now off to start building gas chambers. And the one thing that I found, the one thing I found most offensive, believe it or not, I don't think anyone commented on it in the insurrection, was some guys had these t-shirts. I don't know who made them, but they said 6 million were not enough. Now, you and I know what that means. a lot of younger people.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah, that is a reference to 6 million Jews who were destroyed by the Third Reich. I mean, it's just not fun to show up in the Capitol with, one of the greatest atrocities in the history of the world. And it's just so many things can offend you, but I have to keep a level head and not go wild. I do rush down every morning and have that coffee and the news, and it's like, what happens now? I must say, in spite of all the horror, it's been one of the most entertaining shows. Someone said if all this had been done as a political thriller, it would be rejected. I believe that sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But do we have more time?
Yeah, keep going. We're good.
Okay, I'll keep going. Well,
We'll let you
listen,
know.
with the pandemic panic going on, movies are still being made. There's a lot of activity around here. I have came to the conclusion that the story of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, which I'm writing, one book is already, and we decided to do volume 2. Scott Fitzgerald said, in America, there are no second lives. Well, Ronald Reagan proved there was a second life, and Donald Trump is now off on a third act.
So what's that going to be? Tell us. What do you
And-
think?
What his third act will be?
Yeah.
That's up for grabs. He has a war chest of $300 million to play around politically, and $300 can go a long way. But he also has 40 lawsuits waiting for him in the lower courts of southern Manhattan. And there's a bill coming in. You may not have heard this. Some accountants have said he owes $100 million in back income tax. Well, that doesn't include interest over the years. You know, interest can mount up to millions and millions, and it's just and going to be a bit of a horror story, I think. I can't think how, well, I've been sued many times, and it's not fun, particularly when you lose. So he's going to need a lot of good lawyers, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So I think he will be involved in some attempts to make money, because a lot of the hotels now are losing money. Well, every hotel
You
seems
think
to.
we'll ever,
Do I what?
Darwin, will we ever see his tax returns?
Yes. Parts of them have already been made available, and a great deal of them have been published in the New York Times. He's been very clever, or rather the accountant has been very clever, because he's gone for years without paying any income tax of anything. But the Grim Reaper comes to call at some time, and it's going to be
Yes,
pretty rough.
it does.
But we're
Yes,
carrying on
it
here.
does.
As I said,
We're just,
we don't know whether the Jaja movie will be made or not, but you can live off options that you sign, and we've signed an option on the James Dean book. I'm happy they chose our book of all the books written about James Dean, and they want to make a movie or a series. And the reason Lucille Ball is going into 2 volumes is because the second volume will begin with her second life. She really left Desi after threatening for 10 years to leave him. He couldn't keep it zipped up, you know? And then she began a new life, and she became the first woman
so
to
Darwin,
head
out of time.
Okay, we got to go. I'm sorry we had a few interruptions.